Hi, dear children. Welcome to the new chapter Photosynthesis in Higher Plants. We know photosynthesis is the basic process. It is an anabolic process by which simple inorganic substances are converted into complex organic compounds in the presence of sunlight and with the help of chlorophyll molecules in plants. And it is a basic process by which energy source is made available to living organisms. So in this chapter, we are going to learn about the basic process called as photosynthesis. What is the site of photosynthesis? What are the steps involved in the process of photosynthesis and the factors influencing the process photosynthesis. So let's begin with the chapter photosynthesis in higher plants. What is photosynthesis? It is synthesis of something in the presence of light. So photosynthesis is a physiochemical process. It is involving two processes, that is physical and chemical process, by which the green plants use light energy, that is solar energy, to synthesize complex organic compounds. And it is a basis of life on earth. And ultimately, all living organisms depend on sunlight for the source of energy. So what is the importance of photosynthesis? We learn that it is a basis of life on earth and it is a primary source of all food on earth, and it releases oxygen into the atmosphere, without which the aerobic organisms cannot survive. What is the site and what are the pigments involved in photosynthesis? What is the site of photosynthesis? The site of photosynthesis, as we have learned from our earlier classes, it is the chloroplast. Green pigment chlorophyll containing plastids are called as chloroplast. So photosynthesis, it takes place in the green leaves and other green parts of the plants. And where are the chloroplasts present inside the leaves? The chloroplast is present in the walls of the mesophyll cells of the leaves. Mesophyll is nothing but the specialized parenchyma cells present inside the leaves. So it is present on the walls of the mesophyll cells of the leaves. And what is the speciality of this chloroplast? It helps to get optimum light or incident light, optimum quantity of the incident solar light. The chloroplast, it is a membranous system which is made up of three parts, that is the grana, the fluid part called as stroma, and stroma lamellae. So what is grana? It is membrane bound sacs. The membrane bound sacs here, these are the membrane bound sacs which are stacked one above the other, and these membrane bound sacs are called as thylakoids, or they are called as lamellae. They are called as thylakoids or called as lamellae. And the fluid part, these are the fluid part, is called as the stroma. Then what is the stroma lamellae? We can see that this thylakoid and the next thylakoid, they are connected together by small strands, and this is called as the stroma lamellae. The stroma lamellae is the connections between the grana or the thylakoids or lamellae. What is the importance of the grana? It is the grana which is the site of synthesis of the energy-rich molecules. This membrane system, it traps the energy from the light energy, and it converts them into energy-rich compounds, namely ATP and NADPH. What does this ATP stand for? We have learned ATP. It is an energy currency. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate, and NADPH is a new term to you. NADP stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, and the reduced form of NADP is NADPH. So ATP and NADPH, they are synthesized in the presence of light energy, and it is the site of synthesis is taking place in the membrane system, and it is called as the light reaction. Basically, it's called as a light reaction. Then what is the importance of stroma? Stroma is the site of dark reaction. when grana is a site of light reaction which is taking place in the presence of light. Stroma is a site of dark reaction. Dark reaction does not mean it is taking place in dark. It only implies that it is taking place in the absence of light. So during the dark reaction in the stroma, enzyme linked reactions, that is enzymatic reactions, they incorporate the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere into the plant and it is converted or it is reduced to sugar for synthesizing sugar, which is in turn converted into the stored form of energy called as starch. And this reaction is called as a dark reaction. It does not mean that it is taking place in darkness. They are only light independent or they do not require light. Now let us learn about the pigments which is involved in photosynthesis. What are pigments? Pigments are substances which has the ability to absorb light at specific wavelength. We know the light energy or solar radiations have the visible spectrum which is at different wavelength. So each pigment has the ability to absorb light at specific wavelength. So chromatography, there is a process called as chromatography and we'll be doing that experiment. So paper chromatography is the experiment or it is a process by which we separate out or segregate out the pigments which is present in leaves. So with the help of chromatography, we can see the leaf pigments in a chromatogram. This is a chromatogram. And the different pigments identified are chlorophyll A, which is bright or blue-green, chlorophyll B, which is yellow-green, and xanthophyll, which is yellow, and carotenoids, which are yellow to yellow-orange. So these are the four pigments: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, xanthophyll, and carotene. Chlorophyll A is considered as the main pigment, whereas chlorophyll B, xanthophyll, and carotene, they are considered as the accessory pigments. So what are the functions of accessory pigments? They absorb light at different wavelength and transfer the energy to chlorophyll A, which is acting as a main pigment. And they also protect chlorophyll A from photooxidation. There's oxidation in the presence of light. So these are the two main functions of the accessory pigments. They absorb light at different wavelength and transfer it to chlorophyll A, and they prevent photooxidation of the chlorophyll A. Next, we are going to learn about absorption spectrum and action spectrum. Absorption spectrum is a graph plotted for the absorption of light by the chlorophyll pigments at different wavelength of light. And what is action spectrum? It shows the rate of photosynthesis by the different by the molecules of chlorophyll at different wavelength of light. This is the absorption spectrum and this is the action spectrum. And when both these spectrums are plotted, we can see they coincide closely, showing that the photosynthesis, the rate of photosynthesis or absorption of light is the maximum at the blue and red regions of the spectrum. Is it clear? The blue and red region of the spectrum shows the maximum range of photosynthesis and maximum absorption of light. So the graph shows that it is the chlorophyll A molecule which is acting as the chief pigment associated with photosynthesis. In this graph, we can see this is the action spectrum, the graph plotted for action spectrum, and this is the absorption spectrum. And we can see that both action spectrum and absorption spectrum is maximum in the blue and red region. And it also proves that chlorophyll A molecule is the chief pigment, and whereas chlorophyll B, xanthophyll, and carotene are the accessory pigments. So dear children, in this module, we learned about the structure of the chloroplast, which is a membranous system consisting of grana and stroma lamellae. Grana is a site where light reaction takes place and stroma is a site where dark reaction takes place. We also learned about the absorption spectrum and action spectrum. Thank you.